Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostle of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to Yakin, pushing his truth throughout the four winds. Um, the thing that inspired this lesson, I was talking to my son, and just Edomite I guess he just thought he was cool with on social media. And she was, kept posting things about Israelites, basically Negroes. And he just couldn't come to grips besides me telling him everything about these people and their mannerism and just how they are as a people. So he was just like, man, I was just like, just erase her. Just defriend her, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to see it. But he was just like, we had a conversation about it, and that's why I was telling him, man, you can never trust those people, bro. You can never trust those people, okay? But I hope this is edifying, man. I hope this is edifying. This is titled Two Sides of the Story. It's two sides. It's Jacob and it's Esau, okay? Now, I wanted to go into, before I get scriptures, I wanted to go into DNA and things of that nature, okay? You have to bear with me trying to say the meaning of DNA. It's deoxyribonucleic acid. That's what DNA stands for. It says an extremely long macromolecule that is in the main component of the chromosomes. Niggas, man. And is the material that transfers genetic characteristics in all life forms. Okay? Constructed of two nucleotide strands coiled around each other in a ladder-like arrangement with the side pieces composed of alternating phosphate and deoxyribose, I'm just butchering these words, units, and the rungs composed of the purine and pyrimidine bases, adenine, guanine, cysteine, and thymine. The genetic information, the DNA, is encoded in the sequence of the bases and is transcribed as the strands unwind and replicate. So these things are replicated. And this is the point I was trying to get him to understand about the DNA and the replication of things. Okay? Now, in DNA, I was trying to tell him that she's acting that way because it's been passed down through DNA to her genetics. Okay? She wears these things in her makeup as a person. Her whole makeup, her whole being came from her father, her dad. Okay? So the way he is, it's been passed down from the very beginning. Okay, and we're going to get into that. It says, I'm not going to read all this. Let me go in here a little bit. It says the traits of a living thing depend on the complex mixture of interacting components inside it. Proteins do much of the chemical work inside cells, so they largely determine what those traits are, but those proteins owe their existence to the DNA. deoxyribonucleic acid, so that is where we must look for the answer. Okay. The easiest way to understand how DNA is organized is to start with its basic building blocks. DNA consists of 4 different sugars that interact with each other in specific ways. These 4 sugars are called nucleotide bases and have the names adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. Think of these 4 bases as letters in the alphabet. Now, I went through all that just to show that the makeup of offspring gets everything from the genetic makeup of its father. Okay, it gets some traits from its mother too, but its father. So what that man pushes forth out of his body, those sperm cells, everything that's made up of him is in those sperm cells. Okay, everything. It's just some of them when they go through the egg, when they are racing, some of them just may have forms of looking a different way, but the whole genetic makeup of the whole thing, that child is going to get from its father. Okay, you get traits from the mother, all that, but I'm talking about the way you think, mannerisms, all that comes from that sperm cell. Okay, so I had explained to him that the reason why she's like that is because you would have to look at her dad, her granddad, so on and so forth. And we know what that stems back to. It's just the breaking off of inside of how he really feels. Okay? And I went to Ecclesiastes 4:16. It says, there is no end of all people, even of all they have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So it's vanity and vexation of spirit is because you know that you're going to have to deal with the same type of people in every regeneration, every reincarnation. You're going to have the same type of people. People are going to always vex your spirit. Okay, there's no end to that. All right, and that's why I was explaining to him, it's no end to the people, bro. Once, like that sperm cell that hits, it belonged to a man. Guess what? Whatever's born from that, if it's a male or a female, okay, that male, if it's born, guess what happens? He has those same racial hatred traits from his dad. They're just embedded in him to be that way. Okay? If it's a female, guess what? She comes to another Edomite male, and guess what happens? Those same traits are still pushed forth throughout this nation. It's always going to be, okay? So it's no end to the people, but this is the way they move. This is their mannerism. All right? Then I went to Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So, what we have here is, it's no new thing under the sun. It's always going to be a replay. Okay? And that's how it is with people. There's no new spirits coming here. Everything is recycled. It's reincarnation. It's telling you that. Okay? Things that have been, it's going to be. Your dad was a racist. Oh, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have a son. He's going to be a racist. He's going to have a son. He's going to be a racist. These things are passed down. Okay? Because That's how it works. All right? There's no end to the people. These things are passed down through DNA. All right? This is Genesis. Now we're going to read about Cain and Abel. It says, and in a process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And Abel, he also brought the firstling of his flock and the fat of the fat thereof. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushua had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain, and to his offering he had no respect. Okay, so we see a trait right here. Cain was sloppy. Okay, he was sloppy. Okay, it says, and to his offering he had no respect, and Cain was very wroth. Now he's throwing temper tantrums, even though he's in the wrong. Okay, he says, let me see, and his countenance fell. Now he gets to pouting. Okay, he's pouting now. It says, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushua said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? It's your fault. It says, you know what I'm saying? It says, and why is thy countenance fallen? Why is your countenance fallen? Why didn't you present things in a better manner? Okay? Now, what we have here is, the way things are shaped up is you're always going to have a up and a down, a right and a left, a good and a bad. That's just what it is. And it's shaping up that Cain basically is being put on that side of evil, of bad. You're seeing it because everything that's coming his way is negative. And this is from the Creator. Okay? It's negative that's going to Cain. But everything with Abel is good. Okay? So, we already see from Jump Street negative things on Cain. Okay? It says, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? It says, and if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Now we have jealousy. Okay? From Jump Street. All these things, keep in mind, everything negative about Cain. It even came out to be where Cain did what? What did he do? He slew his brother. Now he's a murderer. Okay? He's a pouting, crying murderer. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Now he's a liar. Okay? All these negative traits Cain had from the very beginning. Okay? This is the story. This is the story. All these traits, we're looking for someone today that wears these traits. All right? It says, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood. From thy hand, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Now we're looking for someone who's a culture vulture. Someone who steals everything. Someone that blindly murders. Someone that's always constantly lying. Remember the peace treaty with Gad? Who broke every one of them? Who murders so-called Negroes in the streets for fun. Goes to other countries and do the same thing. Now, this is from the very beginning. A vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. That means you're not going to have nothing that belongs to you. You come to America, it's basically everything compounded in one place. You have Asian food, you have Chinese food, you have Mexican food, you have African food, you have Mediterranean food, you have all these foods, but what food belongs to Esau? All they've done is taken everyone else's things and made it their own. Okay? Now we're looking for someone who has these traits. A vagabond. Okay? Now it says, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So now someone else, another trait from this person. He doesn't want to answer for what he did wrong. You can tell him he's wrong all day. Sound familiar? Got cops on video shooting someone in the back. What happens? They get off. They get off. You know why? My life felt threatened. Oh, his life felt threatened. So guess what happens? He's not held accountable. All these things from the very beginning. Okay? It says, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And Yahweh Shem Yahshua said unto him, therefore whosoever who slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh Shem Yahshua set a mark upon Cain, lest any man find him, should kill him. Now, that mark, when you go into that word, I don't remember what it said, but I remember I done a video on this a while back. That mark was basically a sign to show who someone is. So today we're looking for someone, and we know that sign is of the skin. Okay, that sign is of the skin, because they're the only people with a mark that you can tell they're not like everyone else. But just hold on. It's going to basically show it, because there's no end to the people, remember? Now we're looking for someone that's a murderer, a liar, just basically all around unjust and unfair and everything, and don't want to answer for none of their mistakes or none of their wickedness. We ain't gonna even call them mistakes, because they blatantly do these things and they don't want to answer for it. Okay, so we're looking for someone, but we're gonna continue on. Now we're gonna go to Genesis 27, and we're gonna look at, remember Cain. Okay, remember what he done to his brother. This is Genesis 27 and 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, because Jacob, if you're not familiar with the story, Jacob went in and basically Esau had sold his birthright, but in this time Isaac was about to die, and he was like, he really couldn't see well, and the mom basically dressed him like Esau, so he got Esau's blessing. Okay, now this is what Esau got. It says, and he had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry. Oh, here you go crying again. Here we go crying again. He sold the birthright, remember? Now he's crying. Remember Cain? Way back when he was wroth? When he was wroth, you remember that? Same thing. He was crying. Okay? Now guess what happened? But keep in mind that the Lord cursed Cain. Now he's back, but this time he's Esau. That's why when he was born red and hairy all over. That was the mark to show you that this was Esau, this was Cain all over again. Okay? Some of the same things you saw in that story, those same traits and those same genetics in that DNA is being passed down to Esau now. Okay? It says, he started crying, a bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. It says, and he said, Is not he rightfully named Jacob? For he had supplanted me these 2 times. He had took away my birthright, and behold, now he had taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac said unto him, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and with wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Okay? And you see this wept. This thing right here is you have this nation of people. They're a bunch of fucking crybabies, bro. They're always whining and playing the victim role. They're always playing the victim role. Okay? It says, And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live. Now, you remember when we went back with Cain, what did he do? He slew his brother with the sword. Now, this time, it's playing out in his favor as a blessing. Who kills today with the sword like no other? Who is a cunning and perfect hunter? You got it. Cain, Esau, the people you see today. Okay? It says, By the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob, just like Cain hated Abel. And Cain slew Abel. So check this out. Look, let's see what Esau plans to do with Jacob. It says, because of the blessing. You remember Cain and Abel went to bring forth their blessing to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. What happened? The Lord loved one of them. He hated the other. Just like the blessing was given right here, Cain hated his blessing. Guess what happened? He wanted to kill his brother again. It says, blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. The same exact thing, bro. So, these traits were played out through generations. Okay? through generations. Now, let's look at when after these Edomites were put away. Let's look at them come back into power now. This is First Maccabees. It says, and it happened after that Alexander, who people call Alexander the Great, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim and had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes. So look at this. Here they are killing with the sword once again. It's what they do. That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Okay, so now Esau is coming into full-blown power again. Okay, it says, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Why? Because his gift was the sword. This is what he was supposed to do. This is what he was set up to do. Okay, notice how did the Grecians look? You got it. Caucasian. You got it. Because who are they? Esau. Period. Okay, and what were they going to be doing? Killing with the sword. And went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him. They wouldn't say nothing to him because they knew that's how these people get down. They're full of killing. Okay. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. So his mind, he was proud now. His mind was lifted up. He was proud. Can't no one touch me. This is another thing. Let's look for some people today that's full of pride. Okay? That's full of pride. No one can touch me. I'm untouchable. I talk shit all day, knowing if they got into a fight with Jake, or who we call Judah, Israel, they get the shit whooped out of them. But they still will talk because they're full of that pride. 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So now what we have is our people starting to follow these people now. Okay, now we're following them. They're wicked. Okay, now what we see on both sides, we got the wicked and we got the righteous that's starting to be wicked. Guess what happens? These mannerisms flow down through DNA even to our people this day. Okay, I'm gonna make another part. I'm gonna make a part 2 of this. For now, shalom.